also cut my hair.
I'll cut my hair. But nah, that's what the thing. Dreads, you can't cut it. It just grows, and then I don't know. For something with dreads, it grows faster, bro.
Nah, I believe it. I believe it.
Once you hear the air horns, you know what time it is.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Welcome back to another episode of Everything Under the Sky. I'm your host, Lamar, here with some cool guys. Uri is here.
What up?
Wax is here.
What's going down?
Lamb is here. Back in the trap. Episode 49.
9.
We're still in the 40s, huh?
We almost
Still
at 50,
can't
though.
escape the 40s. Episode 49. Thank you for joining us, your favorite weekly talk show. Hope everybody out there is having a good time and a good day, and I hope we can make your day better. How are you guys doing this week? We've been out for 2 weeks, so we had a lot of content to jumble into this hour and a half or so.
Yeah.
How are you guys?
I'm good. We got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, well, tell us what.
Well, you tell me. Y'all left to me.
I'm an island boy.
Yeah, island boy.
Trying to make it.
Yeah, how was y'all's trip?
That shit was dope, man.
Well, yeah, I was a guest. I got invited, so I was like, I'm in there. And well, we went to Dominican Republic.
Yeah,
It was everybody's first time there.
Yep, it was definitely all our first time. It was different. It was more of a language barrier than I expected. I'll say that to start, but it's beautiful. This place is beautiful. When you're flying in, you're looking at the water, and you're like on an island, right? Mm-hmm. And you're just looking at this water. You're like, this is like the most blue turquoise water I've ever seen, and
Looks clear, yeah, and it's not what's that like? Not Atlantic warm, but it's still like pretty warm. But maybe it is Atlantic warm. I haven't been on the Atlantic.
I mean, I thought it was warm, especially
It was
just
fairly warm, but it wasn't like Mexico water.
like the
warm.
water, yeah.
But we
no,
also
for
go
sure.
during the summertime, so maybe that could be.
Yeah, that was technically their winter time, and that was still
Exactly,
pretty good. And it was just hot out there, like
And niggas got tans.
yeah, definitely,
For real?
Pretty much, it was pretty hot.
it was pretty hot.
I thought you were just blushing.
That's funny.
They went to overtime. What is this?
Nah, but definitely had a great time. It's always a cool experience. It's a humbling experience too every time you go outside of the United States, because
No, like you said, there's always gonna be that language barrier, but it's always like humbling when it hits you in the face when you're like, yo, I don't know what he's saying and he doesn't know what I'm saying, and
yeah, no,
I don't know where this is gonna go. But we're gonna try.
Awkward situation all day.
Well, and it's cool because you still figure out a way to communicate with people. You know what I mean? You still figure it out one way or another, and but I also think it's humbling too because you realize like how blessed we really have it over here in the States, because just the access to certain things. But yeah, it's always cool to get out and experience something new, and I really enjoyed it.
No, yeah, DR's dope. Fun fact, I realized, well, one, it is in that whole Caribbean. So what we did is we flew out to Florida first, and then flew from Florida there. It was
Long
like
trip.
a 2.5 hour from Florida though. But DR is connected to Haiti, so like it's like all one island, and then there's a few islands around it. But from Haiti to DR, they said it was like a 5-hour drive. So it was dope to like just experience that culture. The food was crazy. Definitely could see us going back again.
For sure.
But the people were like black though. There was like they were definitely dark. I was wondering what kind of Spanish people would be there, but they were like black Spanish.
And they spoke a different type of Spanish,
No,
like different
Spanish
language.
is different everywhere.
Yeah.
But I was about to say you realize Spanish is like everywhere. Everybody speaks Spanish, especially around here. Like you have Mexico and South America, Central America, the Caribbean is all Spanish, or their island twang, and then there's Spain, which is Spanish, different dialect. But like Spanish is everywhere. The only people who don't really speak Spanish is Americans.
Yeah, no, really. And but I feel that way every time we go to another country, they all speak another language, or like know English, they know our language to some
At least
degree.
more than
Yeah,
we know their language.
for sure. But the other thing too, I would say going there, and I guess this is a part of being on just the resort part. You're like, dang, man, I'm motivated to get a big old house, because on that resort there was like mansions, there was like some big houses, and it's like it's weird. Like it's humbling because you like kind of see the workers and people that are there, but then you're looking at these houses and people that I don't know have access to these houses. I don't know who does. I think you said Dalvin Cook was down there. You saw like while we were there?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I'm capping, but I'm pretty sure I seen some Dalvin. It was his birthday around that time too. So
Yeah, so like
where you like geotagged somewhere on Instagram, and I just like clicked the geotag, and I was like scrolling through everybody's like pictures and posts, and Dalvin Cook was definitely on the beach, and it looked like the same beach. But I think we got there like right after he was leaving.
So these big houses, are they Airbnbs? Are you saying?
They're a little bit of everything. I feel
think
like
yeah, I
though. They're
think
like
it's a
private
mix.
owners, public owners. There's hotels.
Yeah,
There's
there's
like
a hotel and a
everything
resort,
within this
yep.
resort. And people keep
There's golf
asking me,
courses.
and I keep trying to explain it, but the resort was literally so big. It was like a town in its own. Like the resort was literally like its own
They
town.
had a grocery store there. They had restaurants on
Everything.
it. Yeah, they had the beach. They had so much on there.
We lived in Polo, and literally it was like the polo section. And in our backyard, they were literally playing polo on horses.
Yeah,
Like there were so many different faucets and segments of this resort. It was dope. It was huge.
And we would drive by the horses like pretty much every day. We went on some dune buggies. We went on a boat cruise. Like we went to another island. It was just
Catalina
fun.
Island.
Yeah, it was fun.
We went to an island from an island. There's like
Yeah.
so many different islands everywhere. How was your weeks though? What was you up to?
Just grinding,
So you
putting in
didn't,
that hard work.
didn't bring us any popcorn this week.
Yeah,
You hate us or what?
Nah, I forgot last week and this week. I feel so bad. I'm gonna bring y'all a party bag.
I'm always
Party
down
bag
for the
is
party
huge.
bag.
Hey, don't tickle my fancy.
Nah,
But I heard it was really warm here. Like we left when it was cold and came back to some cold.
I was
Did you enjoy that?
I was experiencing the norm Colorado weather. Snow. A couple days later, 70, 60. Nah, it was 70, bro.
But it's currently freezing now and snowing. all
right,
day.
60, and then it'll go back to 40, 30, and then tonight it's like 5 degrees. But yeah, so I enjoyed a little bit of nice weather, but not really because I was working. But
I feel like you need to take a vacation. Do you ever take a vacation, friend? I feel how they say like dudes don't ever like talk to each other. Let's open it up, man. I feel like you always working. Yeah, every time. How you been? Oh, I'm busy, man. Oh, I'm tired. When you need some downtime
I
just to yourself,
definitely
man.
need a vacation.
Go on a spa date to yourself. You need to treat yourself, man. I feel like you got
Honestly,
some built up tension that you need to
that's not a bad idea. It's just I don't know.
just
About,
disappear for a couple days.
I don't know if I could afford a couple days, but maybe like one day. Yeah, I need to just get away and just do some stuff. But yeah, I've been pretty busy. I need a vacation. I've never had a job to the point where I can't leave that job because I'm the only person that knows how to do that job. So if I leave, everything is on pause. And I've never experienced that before. So it's kind of weird because it kind of gives me anxiety. Like, dang, I really can't take a vacation
Because it's all on
right
me.
now. Yeah, exactly. So I've never been in that situation. So it's kind of weird to go through this right now. But at the same time, it's humbling.
Because you have so much stake in like the business and the company.
Right. And it just makes me like appreciate the trips that I did go on. And it makes me anticipate the trips that I will go on,
Yeah, it's always that much better.
But yeah, that's where I've been. Just in grind mode.
We're almost good. It's almost springtime.
Definitely almost springtime. I was just thinking today, like, springtime starts in May. The winter
does
is
it?
over after April.
Sometimes, man, because I remember in college there was a huge snowstorm, like right
In May?
Yeah, like the first week of May.
Well, damn. No, you're right, because in Mother's Day, sometimes it snows. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, a lot of times it snows on Mother's Day. I'm always remembering, like, driving down from college, trying to meet up with my mom on Mother's Day, and it's snowing.
No, trust me, my birthday's around that time, so yeah.
Yeah, so and then my birthday's in April, and it always snows.
Mhm.
So I was just trying to like gauge like when does it stop snowing, and I was like May, but dang, you just reminded me like it snows
All of
in
May,
May.
yeah.
It's
So
really
You mean like Colorado spring?
Right, and then I was I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking also like Colorado has its own different type of like fall, spring, May.
sure.
You know, like how it like
For sure. 'Cause
gauges
I was excited because spring is actually this month. It's soon. So
right
it's
on
like,
the
okay,
calendar,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like technically. But March is like our snowiest month. So like clearly it snows. And it's weird because it snows like every Wednesday. I feel like.
right. Like, and we
It has
noticed
been,
that
right?
because
Because I be on campus most Wednesdays and always leave early because it's always snowing. That's how I know.
and we record on Wednesdays.
That's what I was about to say
Exactly.
something.
Inside note.
Daylight savings is coming up too. You
Sunday.
were saying
Yeah.
Sunday,
Sunday.
The
like
12th.
this week.
Like,
But
yeah, the 12th. Yeah.
Dang. Okay, so we about to
'Cause
wake
it's
up
the
to
9th.
some sunshine.
Yeah.
nah, but we lose an hour of sleep.
The 11th.
But we wake up to sunshine.
True.
It makes me wake up earlier.
But
I
you know
need
me,
this.
I'm a Taurus. I'm thinking about my
I mean,
sleep.
I get it. I'm gonna just try. I'm gonna just try and go to sleep earlier. I've been going to sleep mad late, but I've been trying to like start waking up earlier again. I always forget. It's just this, like every summer. I mean, every winter I forget. You know, that whole seasonal depression thing. I start sleeping more. I get super lazy. But then once that daylight savings hit, it's like bing. I'm like a little groundhog. I get ready, shake it off. I come out and I start like getting productive again. I start sleeping less. I get out of bed early. Like the sun dictates a lot of my life. If I'm like in the bed and I see the sun, I'm like, all right, maybe I need to get up. But if I look out and it's dark, there's a 0%. There's a 0% chance I'm getting up. And for a while, the sun doesn't rise until like 8 sometimes, like in the winter equinox. So I'm excited for spring. It sounds like all I seen when we were gone is I'm excited for summer. People, especially 70 degrees in Colorado feels like a nice little beach day for sure.
Sure.
Honestly, I'm not excited for summer because it gets hot.
That's what
I like spring.
I like spring fall. If we could just
I
be
love
in a spring fall all the
Fuck
time.
that
Like-
slush.
like
I'm not trying
peak-
to see none of that
Peak
slush.
summer.
I don't want no chance.
The worst. Once you get to like July, August, September,
Bro,
shit gets
I
hot.
went to Lake
Shit gets hot.
McConaughey, which is like on the border of Nebraska,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hot there. And there's like no shade. Like I don't know, it's like it's
so
hot,
so
bro.
you just trying to escape the heat and there was
Bro.
nowhere to go.
There was nowhere to go, bro. And there
So it's a desert.
It was
Lake
like I was-
McConaughey's not a desert. Is that you?
I was kind of like, no, it is because I was at Horsetooth, but no mountains, and the beach, the water met the beach, which was sand, straight sand. Like if you're driving in the sand, your truck might get stuck. So don't go with your car. It's sand. It's a beach, and it's hot. Yes, hot.
Wait, how do you know about getting stuck? Did this almost happen?
I
to
got
you?
stuck.
She sounds like an expert, like past experience.
Bro, I was zooming too. I was like, I got this. Vroom. My mom was like, you better not get stuck.
You got stuck.
I got stuck. Somebody was like, hey, you need help? He was like, I got a shovel. I literally had to dig myself out of the sand and just turn around and just go back because I was about to try to drive the whole beach.
All right, but let's get into some news. Like I said, we got a lot to talk about, so let's just start it off the bat. Batman's been going crazy. I've been seeing a lot of people hype it. It's been getting pretty good reviews too. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm dying to go see it. I'm not gonna lie.
Same.
The only hesitation I have is 3 hours. I'm not ready to commit that type of time or energy yet to just sitting still. Like you said, we just got back, so I feel like I've been having stuff to do, and I can't just sit still for 3 hours right now.
No, I agree with you. I'm dying to see it, but I've heard mixed reviews. Like, I've heard people tell me it's like great. It's like the best thing since Dark Knight.
Also, that I heard you say that, and it's the only thing since Dark Knight.
Nah, there was all the.
I mean,
Dang.
I was gonna say, okay, what? I guess Bane.
Nah,
is-
then there was
are-
the Ben Affleck ones.
Well, that was before.
The
No, that was
Batman-
after, but that wasn't his.
That was after?
He Batman versus Superman.
And then
That wasn't really a Batman movie. That was like a Justice League.
I
That was
feel
like
you,
a co-op.
but it was still Batman.
So okay, that's like a given. It's the best since Dark Knight. But okay, Bane. If it's better than Bane, I give it some credit. I just thought they meant the best thing since the Dark Knight like series.
Well, I guess let me rephrase. They're comparing it to the Dark Knight status.
Okay.
Of
Which is tough because
Yeah.
that's a lot of people think it's one of the best Batmans.
I would agree
Like
with
with
that
Joker,
statement.
Yeah. With what's his name? Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
That one, if it tops that one,
Bro, I downloaded that for the plane ride, and let me tell you, I could not fall asleep on the plane. It's so good every time you watch it.
the one with Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Every
good.
time.
But I've been hearing people compare it to that. But then I've also heard people tell me it's not good.
Like not good at all, or there's
Like they're telling me it's a mid, like it's being overhyped.
as long as there's people getting beat up, and there's like Batman has
Right.
that moniker for being
Like-
like dark. As long as it gives me that, I know Zoe Kravitz is in it, and I know she's looking smoking.
Like for example, this
Is she Catwoman?
let's make it to related to two people we know, John and Kev. John gave me he fell asleep. Kev said
I know
it
Ja
was
fell
fire.
asleep, but Ja always falls asleep.
Oh, okay, so he's not a reliable.
Yeah,
source.
he said he didn't know it was 3 hours, so he wasn't expecting it.
Okay,
He was probably
okay.
super duper high and like, yeah. So that doesn't count.
Okay. But still, I've seen it on the internet too. Some people be like it's good. Some people be like it's cool.
Dark,
I fell
Dark Knight
asleep.
was long too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that it's long. Like, please, it's just
So
like
if
put it
they're-
on HBO though.
If they're comparing it to that and it's long, because long movies, I agree, it's hard to like stay up and watch a 3-hour movie and
At the
keep your
movies too,
attention
and it'd be all late.
and
You
at
get the
the
10
movies.
o'clock
and especially if you like
comfortable,
like
and-
to go pregame like we do.
exactly.
you
I've
know?
fallen asleep on plenty of fire movies, so I don't think that's a good gauge.
Right.
But I heard a couple people did say it wasn't as good as people are hyping.
I mean, these highlights right now,
Nah,
you
if it's
watching
a
looks
good
pretty
movie,
good.
like you're saying, there's no way you're gonna fall asleep.
Right. Looks
Wait,
looks
what?
good. Exactly.
Because you were saying with The Dark Knight, you couldn't fall asleep because it's
Yeah.
such a good movie. If it's
Yeah,
a good
that's true.
movie, you're not gonna fall asleep.
right.
But I wasn't at the movies. Like I
True,
said,
I
like-
can't fall asleep on a plane anyway. So
Exactly.
it's like mid sleep.
They got
Like,
the new seats now, that the reclining seats, and so
I wasn't on Southwest.
I've slept on every plane ride. I've slept on every plane ride I've ever taken.
Oh, you're also a narcoleptic, so.
I also do love to sleep,
But
but I'm not.
I tried,
narcoleptic.
trust me.
Batman, it says Batman's box office ticket sales top 128.5 million its first week. And that's just the first weekend. And it says today it's been about 248.45 million globally. But that 128 million is second throughout the pandemic, only to Spider-Man, of course. And I think Spider-Man was 260 first week.
Sheesh.
Exactly. That just lets you know how crazy Marvel is.
Yeah, Spider-Man is crazy.
But I mean, it's at 248
Spider-
now.
yeah.
So, but that's globally. It says okay, that makes sense. And I heard they were pulling it in Russia too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're pulling everything in Russia. That's a different story though. But shout out to Batman. I want to go see it.
Bro,
Shout
they
out to
closed all the McDonald's, like 252 locations of McDonald's in Russia.
yeah, Starbucks. A lot of people are stopping to do business in
Crazy.
there. But shout out Batman. Shout out Zoe Kravitz. Robert Pattinson. I'm hearing he kills it. I feel like he'll be a cool little Batman.
I heard he was the emo Batman.
Shout out.
Batman is emo though.
I'm Batman.
He's not emo.
he's-
But I guess grown up emo. That's what
He's
they look like.
emo. If you look at his story, his parents were killed. He lives in a bat cave. Who only emos would be in a bat cave? He wears all black. Only comes out during the
touche.
dark.
Touche.
He only comes out at night.
Touche. Damn. He's a
He changes.
vampire.
Yeah, come on, man. He's super emo.
career, the War of Joke.
You're right.
So, but I think that being said, I think Robert Pattinson can kill it. I've seen a lot of people like kind of speculating and hating on Pattinson, like the guy from Twilight. But nah, I think he could do it. I'm definitely trying to see it. If not in the movies, I might go ahead and try and stream it. But definitely trying to get a peep at that Batman.
I'm trying to get the movie experience.
That 3 hours is.
I'm gonna go and get a pizza and have a good time.
I just got to go at like 5, and I think it'll be
Gotta go
good.
to the tavern.
Yeah,
Or
Just have the
hey, the
full
Aurora
course
Central,
meal.
they have little pizzas, bro. That shit
where?
fire.
and the tickets are cheap.
The Century.
No, I was just saying you could have like a full course meal, have the waitress come out and bring you the food.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Have you been since The pandemic.
You're right.
Nah, it's not
You're
the
right.
same.
You're right. You're right.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
they do that at Alamo too, though, with the food and stuff. If I'm not mistaken. But another thing, I seen AMC was charging more for Batman tickets. I'm like, how could they do that?
That's stupid.
Yeah, that is stupid. But they also do that when I tried to book a theater. Like, some of the movies were like cheaper, but that Black Widow was definitely more expensive. It was weird. I wasn't aware they could do that, but apparently they can make their own ticket prices. Moving forward, though, getting into some more news, historic news, might I add. It says Biden nominates Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson as his Supreme Court justice pick. And this is historic because it's the first black woman to be appointed to the Supreme Court justice.
Wow.
And should we make some noise
Applause.
for that? That's like his one promise he actually. Yeah, I forgot who resigned, but it says Jackson is at 51, and she was an appeals court judge for the District of Columbia. She's been doing it for Justice Stephen Breyer, whoever that was. He was 83, and that's the thing about Supreme Court justice judges is like they don't have no tenure. They just once they're elected, they're on the board until they retire.
Exactly. So she got a solid 30 years.
Bro, that's what I was thinking. Like he was 83, so her getting in at 51.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, well, one, we always want more diversity, but also like she's a younger age. Like we want younger
Different
people in.
perspectives.
Yeah. Like someone 83, that's crazy.
Crazy.
No, not someone. They're all probably
Exactly. Most of them are
like
that
exactly
old, yeah.
70s and 83. So shout out Ketanji. Some more news. Brittany Griner was detained by Russian officials after being caught with allegedly what appeared to be, they called it cannabis oil at the Russian airport. The crazy thing is they say she was detained like sometime last month, or people don't really know when she was detained, but this story, the news story came out like 3 weeks ago. So nobody really knows exactly when she was detained.
It was 3 weeks ago. I just found out like a week ago.
Exactly. But it came out in Russia. So it was in Russia, and then they sent it over to U.S. once everything started bubbling.
I would definitely say thoughts and prayers to her because it's crazy. I can only imagine what she's going through and thinking, especially because I'm sure she knows there's a war going on right now.
Especially her not knowing ahead of time before. Like, I know she probably knew there was tension, but she never thought like
it would actually happen.
A full-out war in Russia.
And just I could only imagine like because she's American, like how that will work against her in Russia.
Exactly. I seen something that said Russia might use her for like tactics and gain against the U.S.
That's wild.
Wow.
Like they treating her like she like Michael Jordan or something.
It's even deeper because it's like,
scary.
dang, she's going over there. She was in Russia because she has to make money. More
Exactly.
money than she would in the WNBA.
That's what I was thinking. She's like, first of all, she's 31, which is like prime age. And I feel like she was just like
She just went to the finals.
in the WNBA, like being dominant. So the fact that she does have to go to Russia for money, somebody told me that too. Like she was making more in Russia than she could have made on the WNBA contract.
That's wild.
So that's the first reason she was out there. And then two, you can't bring like flour and stuff. So she was like, let me just maybe bring a little couple cannabis oils, couple little vape pens, and now look.
I wonder what prompted it though.
Probably just customs. They have to check your stuff. They said she was found with a substantial amount, but I was like, that could probably be like 2 or 3. Like, what does that even mean?
What is it? Yeah.
But it says if found guilty, she can serve a maximum of 10 years in a Russian prison. Griner, who's 31, has played professional basketball in Russia since 2014. It says her detainment has been a source of concern given the ongoing tensions between the U.S. and Russia.
I really hope she don't get the 10 years. That's insane. I hope. I mean, I would hope like the international, like the governments, like internationally, they could work something out. But we're in the weirdest time right now.
It's just like you never know. Like
That's so wild. Definitely thoughts and prayers though.
Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, I was trying to look it up. So she was flying into Russia,
yeah.
or did somebody set her up in Russia?
No, I thought she was trying to leave because she was already there playing basketball.
Oh, so she was trying to come back.
I just seen a video of her going through customs with her luggage, and she like put it in, and then she put it in. So I don't know if she was flying out or flying in, but I'm pretty sure she was flying in. Because why would she leave with cannabis oil
True.
from Russia?
True.
I'm sure she was taking it in for the season.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's scary though. She's just being held over there during a war with Russia.
I know. What do you think she's like thinking?
Bro, she's probably shitting bricks, bro. Scared.
If I would put myself in her shoes, I'd be thinking, am I going to get home? That'd probably be the number one thing on my mind.
Right, like every movie that they have American hostages is coming to mind. Like just
That sounds like a
just
scary
scared.
movie.
Like all the war movies, you know?
Oh.
That's like how they all start.
Yeah, like they got American hostages. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, speaking of movies, Jarrell, it says Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan will be starring in the new sequel to I Am Legend.
That's crazy.
Nearly 15 years after release of I Am Legend, a sequel in the works starring Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan will be released here soon. I don't think there's a release date yet, but react. How you guys feel about a sequel of I Am Legend?
Am I wrong or did Will Smith die?
That's what everybody keeps saying.
I swear he died, but I guess they didn't really show it. But
These two pictures, they kind of look like they could be related.
he sacrificed himself. Is it gonna be like a previous of what Will Smith's life was before,
Well, that's what I was
I Am
thinking. It
Legend?
could be a prequel.
and then he is Will Smith but younger before?
It could be a prequel.
Because Will Smith is dead. That's the only reason why.
But
I'm
there's
saying that.
also people are saying there's and I also seen this. There is a alternate ending where Will Smith survives on the DVD, and it's a bonus scene. But there's an alternate ending where he actually finds a cure, and he survives the end.
I mean, yeah,
So
it's life. You could change the ending if you want. So if they change the ending, that's tight.
he said it's life. No, I seen somebody else saying that too. Like, bro, it's like he was like it's sci-fi. They could literally write whatever they want to write.
Right.
Like anything can make. They could do anything.
They could. That's tight. I would love to see Will Smith act.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like weary though, because whenever they do like a reboot, excuse me,
Boat.
that's what it sounded like. But a reboot, I'm always nervous that it's not gonna be as good and it's gonna disappoint me, because I Am Legend is pretty legendary.
Oh yeah, it's a classic for sure.
So, and I'm curious because I thought he died too. That was like my first thought. I was like, I thought this fool died.
Me
right
too.
there.
So I was like, it has to be a prequel. Like,
Because didn't he save himself for the lady in the
Right.
Yeah.
Sacrificed himself. That was the
Yeah.
whole point of the end. Like,
Yeah.
dang, that was dope. He's my hero. He
Um,
sacrificed himself.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious to see how they play the story in. I guess what it reminds me of is the new Matrix, and that's what it makes me nervous about.
I haven't seen
I feel
it.
you, but one thing I know, Will Smith cares a lot about like his discography, to say, and he like is super strict about his scripts. His
It's content, whatever you want to say.
no, well, the scripts, isn't it a script when you get your
yeah, when you
the writing stuff? Yeah, he's super strict about the scripts. So he wouldn't take on a job if he like doesn't like it. He said that's why it took Bad Boys 4 so long to come out, because he was like, it wasn't right. He was like, they kept trying to pitch it, and I just didn't want to like mess up a good movie, even though the fourth one was still pretty poop. But that's what makes me realize he's like super
Well, I hope.
on.
I trust Will what he would do and what his like fingerprint would be
He
on it.
got some poop movies though.
But
He
that's what I'm saying.
some L's.
Sometimes,
but
like,
every movie, every actor has some L's.
What's his poop movies?
Gemini Man.
Yeah.
After Earth with
After definitely.
Jaden
With his son?
Smith, yeah.
I mean, he had to do that for his son.
But no, did you guys watch The Shop with LeBron has a new
with Gambino on there.
yeah,
and,
Quinta Brunson.
I started. It's crazy you bring that up. I started it this morning.
I watched it today, literally.
Yeah. I didn't finish the whole thing though.
It's on YouTube. But Quinta was on there.
I seen
She's
that.
the producer, creator, main actor in Abbott Elementary.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of gave like it some perspective. She was like, well, for one, she was like, it's like a job. She was like, yes, she is a celebrity, quote unquote, but she was like, at the end of the day, like acting is a job. Producing and writing is a job. And they asked her about Abbott Elementary and Childish about Atlanta. And they're like, do you know stuff is going to be hits? Like when you're writing it or when it happens? Because they were saying like the difference from movies and music. And they were like, which one has the potential to be bigger? And they were like, oh, easily music. Because for one, it only takes one person to do music. For her show, she had to like pitch it to 200 people that don't look like her, that might not understand her vision. For her song, only you have to understand your vision for you to get it out. But she was like, she kind of felt it, writing it and acting it and like being in the writings room. But she was like, yeah, there's some movies and shows that you're a part of, and you're just kind of there for the check. You're just kind of going through the motions. It's like it's a job at the end of the day. You know everything's not going to connect, but you're here to get paid. And she was like, you got to understand that. But she was like, I just knew kind of that this one was a little different, just because the energy felt a little bit different.
She's talking about Abbott Elementary.
Yeah,
Right?
and that's all to say. That Abbott Elementary is gold.
That's just good,
That's
bro.
just good. I tried to sleep on it and wait for it because Twitter was so high on it, but Abbott Elementary is some fire.
You know I like that type of humor too.
Nah,
Bro.
it's
What platform is that on?
Hulu.
It comes on what's the main
I think it's.
NBC?
FX. Oh,
Not
NBC.
it can't be
Nah.
NBC because that's Peacock. ABC?
I think it is ABC.
It's like main.
ABC Family Guy?
It's like
No, that's Fox.
No,
yeah.
that's Fox. No, I'm pretty sure it's ABC.
It's like main premium, not premium. It's like main network television.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even what they said too, because Childish Gambino was like, "Yo, I seen that show, I watched it, and he was like, I was so jealous." He was like, I told you I'm petty. He was like, I was jealous because I was like, how did she come? Like, I'm mad I didn't come up with that idea because it's so great. And he was just saying it's so hard to make a hit show, but not only that, to make a hit show on network TV, so like ABC, NBC, Fox, because there's so many rules and they have like that white person
Right.
at the top.
Exactly.
Whereas he's on FX, which is a little bit more progressive and forward, and they can take a little bit more risk. It's hard to get on ABC 7 p.m. prime time, and like,
That's family time, yeah.
and
The
for
kids.
if you watch Abbott Elementary, for her to like still keep it authentic in the middle of Philly, keep it her idea, inside jokes, like it's so good. I just applaud Quinta, but that episode of The Shop was dope because Childish was one of the stars too. He was dope. Lamar Jackson was on there.
Yep.
Jay Balvin was on there. It was a good show. It was like 30 minutes. I would definitely advise watching that.
Yeah, I'm like halfway through
I
it.
think it's only on YouTube too.
Oh, they didn't drop it on HBO?
I looked. That was the first place I looked
Interesting.
because I was watching something else that I'll say here soon. And then that ended up, I was like, yeah, let me watch The Shop now. I was watching the Lakers' new show, that Winning
It's on my
Time.
watch list.
It's good, bro. I didn't want to watch it because I love the Lakers so much. That shit is good. And Magic was like, don't watch it because I guess he's not so like involved with it as much as he would like to be. And people always get mad like Kanye, like when you talk about their story and they're not like, I get it. But he was like, yeah, I'm coming out with my own like show that better kind of, that I'm more involved with. But this one on HBO is really good.
Remind me of the name?
Winning
Winning
Time.
Time.
Yeah,
Winning
it's
Time.
called Winning Time.
HBO original.
And what's the guy? The main actor is the Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
He's Jerry Buss.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know he's the main person. It's so good. But like further than that, it's funny. But they have like dope cultural references as far as like black and like the times. I told my mom to watch it because I know she was kind of around like during that time. But it basically just highlights the Lakers' rise to fame around that basketball time. But you know, like Boston was kind of like the golden child. They always were winning. Lakers were kind of just like a normal, like low market team, I would say. But then once Jerry Buss got there, he like transformed them to like I think he paid like either $300 million for them.
Jeez.
I think he paid like $200 or $300 million for the Lakers.
Jeez.
But he was like struggling to get that. And that was the first episode of him like kind of come up with the money and stuff. But you know how much money the Lakers are worth today?
Like a couple billion.
Like $5 billion. They're like the top 5 most valuable franchise.
So that was the cornerstone.
Talk about return on investment.
Sheesh. I was gonna say like 300 million back then is probably like $1 billion now.
But still, it's worth $5 billion. He sell them things. Like
Crazy.
But even still, they didn't have like any championships for him, and they show like the preview afterwards, and they show like a little bit more Larry Bird's story. I think they talk about Pat Riley was the head coach of the Lakers. Like Jerry West was the head coach at first, and now he's with Golden State. Like it just shows so much history of it, and they like make Jerry West seem like a total douchebag. It's hilarious. I definitely recommend it. Like I said, I was not really trying to watch it, but I was turned it on while I was doing my taxes, and I'm like, yo, this is like actually good. I definitely recommend that.
I'm definitely gonna tap in.
Shit, while we're here, what else y'all been watching?
Well, I definitely finished Euphoria real quick.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about the finale, huh?
Nah, we haven't.
We
Yeah,
were on vacation.
we haven't. That finale was crazy.
Have you seen the finale? It's been what 2-3 weeks. I feel like there's no more spoilers. People spoiled it almost for me, so I feel like we could talk about it now.
Nah, yeah, but spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, just skip this.
Skip. I had maybe like 6 minutes.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
watched it.
Well, it's all right. We won't get into too much detail, but Ashtray's wilding.
Do you think there could be a 3rd season?
For sure.
Yeah, they didn't
Think
really.
so?
Everybody's still like here, and they like. There's a lot to wonder.
Well, why would they leave us on a cliffhanger with
Facts.
Fez and Ashtray, and then obviously what's gonna happen after the play and all that? Like they kind of left us with a lot to look
Facts.
forward to.
A lot to look forward to. And what I've been thinking is they were gonna kill off Rue and kind of like, Rue, aka Zendaya, and move forward with the other people's stories. Because my theory is Zendaya is gonna be too expensive, and they're gonna be like, all right, well, let's kind of like get rid of Zendaya and move it forward with these other characters. Because I think people are so invested in the other characters that it will work. But for one, why is this season only 8 episodes? Wasn't the first one 10?
Oh, it was 8.
Was it? I thought
You just watched it, so you would probably know.
I feel like it was 8.
But I could have sworn it was 10. 8 threw me off. But maybe Sam Levinson, that's the creator, director.
Look, I was watching right now.
I think maybe once you have that perfect amount, then perfect, he's like 8 is perfect. That's all I need. So I'm like, if 8 is it, I get it.
Yeah, it was 8.
And they're an hour long, so I'm not mad.
I'm on episode 4, season 2.
I think the next
That's
season
just good. It's a good show for sure.
I think the next season's gonna be what you're talking about, with
Mm.
Rue. I think that we're gonna get one more with Zendaya, but we still haven't even addressed the fact that she just was fronted $10,000 worth of drugs and nothing happened.
But kind of, because at the end, you have the cops come in with Fez, but what's the girl, the Faye?
Yeah,
She is kind of like directing that energy not towards Fez. She's like, no, you said that was Laurie. Like, she's putting it on her. So while they're like there for him, she's like, she knows they're being wired, And so I seen a lot of people like, Faye's the MVP. I love Faye. All this other stuff.
Nah, she waited too long.
Exactly. You could have prevented a lot.
Yeah, as soon as you were told, you should have went to Fez.
Facts. But we'll get into that later. But regardless, I think maybe now that might help Rue because they're like, wait, who's this Lori woman? Like, who is this? Maybe she is the kingpin. So maybe Lori might have to at least lay low because that puts some pep in it.
Ashtray ruined some shit though.
Ashtray's the worst. They made him so dope at first, and then
Mouse ain't gonna be coming around no more.
Exactly.
This was crazy.
They made him so dope, and then they made him so trash. Snowfall's out though.
Me,
Our favorite show.
and I'll be damned if I let you tear it.
No, we got to start that from
Shit.
Franklin be
Me, brick by brick, and I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just because you don't like the way another nigga talk. Drive, motherfucker! I built this shit.
I like that they started Snowfall off with 2 episodes right off the bat. But everybody's still here. Franklin Saint still up to Franklin Saint ways. Uncle Jerome, his wife, his girl.
Out there riding horses.
Yeah, Louis. Who's the dude with the braids? His right-hand man? Yeah.
He was just yelling at him.
Yeah.
Leon.
Leon's still there. Like, everybody's still there. So they're still building on their story. And Franklin Saint, Damson had a Breakfast Club interview. And Charlamagne wasn't there, so it was kind of trash. But they asked him, like, how long do you see Snowfall going? And he basically didn't have an answer. He was like, honestly, he was like, we employ a lot of people. He was like, there's still so many open plots, and like, we enjoy doing it. So like, right now, we're having fun with it. We're just gonna keep going till we're going. So I don't think they really have an end in sight for Snowfall, which makes me think this season's gonna be really open-ended too.
That's because Power, boy. They over here opening the
They
game
wanna
for
compete.
all these shows.
Yeah,
They're
tryna
like,
compete.
actually, we don't have to close it, huh? We could just keep it open to go any direction we want.
Like, people want to see people
Bro,
develop.
50 is a genius.
So
That's all I got to say about
I
that.
think they're on episode 4, but Snowfall's been pretty good. It's been typical Snowfall.
Yeah, you like it?
Typical grime. Are you caught up?
I haven't watched it, but just getting like feedback off the internet, people have been like saying it's like mid, like not that good.
Man, you got to watch stuff for yourself sometimes.
Right, exactly.
The internet will always steer you wrong.
Right. I don't like really pay too much mind. I just was gonna say that's on.
I've only watched the first episode this season, and it caught me with a surprise in the very first episode.
Yeah, like, it hasn't been bad, but like, it's only been 3 episodes. Like, what do
Right.
people want to see? Like, you got to let a show build.
Right. I'm
I
definitely
was-
gonna watch it myself. Like you said, you gotta watch it yourself.
I always appreciate the build of a show. So like, give it some time.
Right. It's the first couple episodes of a new season. You know.
Bitch, I'm from Kentucky, but this ain't no fucking Dixie Chicks. This is not Route 66. She step out, take like 50 flicks. I'm way too
You could bring us in
selective
like
with
a
the folks
little
that
bit
I
of
get
this,
mixy
like a
with. She said that's a
little
lie,
at the
boy,
end of
you
this.
a die. Just left out the city. Think they fucking with me, but they not.
Let's go.
I just cannot stop. I'm about to buy my bro a drop. She came to kick it with her friends. They take it.
Speaking of Jack Harlow, bro's been on fire lately, but where's my notes? Not that. Not that either. I can't find it. But Jack Harlow recently was casted officially for the reboot of White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah.
Another reboot, huh? How do y'all feel about Jack Harlow? And that's his first acting gig also, might I add.
I think it's gonna be funny.
That's a tough one to redo. Oh, like, that's a classic.
That is a
It's
classic.
tough to redo classics, but I was so hell bent on Bel Air, and it just turned out heat. So, I mean, fool me once, fool me twice. If it's fire, I'm gonna watch regardless. But I mean, man, why are they touching every classic?
It's funny you joked around about Family Matters. I heard that's coming out, a reboot of that.
Oh, what did it say? The Stefan, the
Urkel's gonna
Urkel,
be
yeah.
gangsta.
Wait, you said you had to rebooting that too?
Yeah.
Wow.
But to answer your question,
Oh, there it is.
I'm excited.
Who's gonna be Wesley?
That's what I'm curious about. Who's gonna be his girl?
Drewski.
Rosie Perez. Drewski's definitely not Wesley.
Sweetie.
That would be fire.
That would be.
But I don't. Maybe I don't know.
It's all set
I've
up.
never seen her act. It has to be an established
Hey,
actor.
sweetie.
It can't be a whole thing of new actors. Because I mean, Wesley was proven by then. Woody Harrelson
Yeah.
was proven by then. Rosie was on fire. Like, I get it. I believe in Jack, just because he does do a lot of satire, and I feel like acting from music videos isn't a big stretch. But like, it can't be full of all new actors. Like, it has to be some vets in there. It has to be like some type of stability. Because, like I said,
Right.
this is a classic.
No, but you're right. Who will play Wesley?
I don't know who.
It has to be somebody that's athletic.
I seen Myles Garrett tweet like, "I'm available."
Ah.
He was the MVP of the All-Star Celebrity Game. But nah, like I'm not watching Myles Garrett for 2 hours.
Right.
LeBron,
Nah, it can't be an NBA player.
yeah, I was like, he might be too tall.
Right.
Jack's not short though either.
Nah, he's not. I think it's gonna be like, it's gonna be cool. Again, it's hard to remake a classic like that, but I think it's gonna be like a different tone. I think it's gonna have to be funnier to fit Jack Harlow's
Yeah.
style. Like, you know what I mean? Because he's definitely more of like a kind of comedic in a
Yeah,
way,
like
you know what I mean?
satire.
Yeah.
But White Man Can't. I mean, look at the White Man Can't Jump in general is like a satire. It's like it was pretty comedic. It had its funny
No, it definitely did.
points throughout. So like it kind of fits. But I'm sitting here thinking, who would be Wesley? I can't think of anybody. I literally can't think of nobody.
Yeah, no, I'm over here trying to think. I don't know.
I like old boy. I can't remember. I can only remember Woody, but he plays Kane in Power. He does a lot of other stuff, but he'd be good. But it's like you also have to be able to hoop because they was like really hooping.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I was just gonna say. They gotta be able to hoop.
That's why I said they gotta be athletic, at least, to make it look like they know how to hoop.
Are y'all gonna go watch White Man Can't Jump 2?
Not in theater.
I'm not gonna go watch it, but yeah, I'll watch it.
What else y'all got
About Jack Harlow?
about life?
Oh, that's a deep question.
About life, dang man, that is a deep question.
About the show, man. What else y'all got? What y'all want to talk about?
Well, since we're just I don't have none dealing towards like movies or anything like that anymore. I said we get to a new segment.
Woody McClain, that's his name.
That's his name.
Woody McClain, yeah, he would be. I could see him doing Wesley, but I honestly can't think of nobody else. Damson would be cool if he could hoop. You know, he got the accents.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to see Dempson in something else.
Me too. What y'all want to talk about? Lead us. Come on. Tell us something. You brought up the Rolling Loud. Didn't you send us this? You going to Rolling Loud?
Are we going to Rolling Loud?
If you set it up, Rolling Loud Miami, 2022 headliners: Ye, Future, Kendrick Lamar.
Nah, I'm definitely I'm down to go there. That'd bring back some old times. But this lineup's crazy. That Friday night, crazy. Saturday night, crazy. It's all crazy. But I would definitely to see Ye, that'd be crazy. That's probably my main person. Lil Uzi would be dope to see again. Lil Baby would be dope. I've never seen him, but Baby Keem, that's like the sleeper out of all of them that I'm looking at right now.
Just look at everybody. That's why Rolling Loud is dope, because it's literally every rapper that you could think of is on the bill. How do they have this much money?
Did y'all say Kendrick Lamar or no?
Nah, I didn't.
For
Y'all didn't say
facts.
Kendrick Lamar?
But I said all the nights are crazy. But I'm just like, I've seen
That's
Kendrick.
the only one I would go for.
That's the only one.
Yeah,
You're
you
crazy.
wild.
Yeah. All
That's
the
the
other
only
ones
one?
are lovely bonuses, but
Shit, baby.
Nah, I think
That Ye was gonna go
Yay, I'm like,
crazy.
yay.
The Dirk just about to drop an album. Playboy, of
the
course.
Ye's gonna be
Nah, it's on there.
crazy.
He's been blown up
Crazy,
too.
bro. What? It's not. Yeah, I'm hoping to see some ASAP on there. I feel like everybody lives in Miami right now. I don't know. I feel like Drake lives in Miami.
Yo,
Kanye's-
Ace Hood is on here. That's
Exactly.
wild.
Literally everyone.
Kevin
ESTG. Every rapper you could think of. Every rapper that's dropped an album in the 2000s will be at Rolling Loud. I'd be down to go though. It's been a while since we went.
And
Yeah.
Miami's always fun.
Miami.
I think that's where
I'm going. Oh wait, that's Cali.
I think that's where Drake and Jack Harlow have been politicking out in Miami. I've been seeing Drake hoop, and in his backyard it's just hella palm trees, and it be raining. I'm like, that just has to be Miami.
He has multiple estates probably all over.
Yeah, he got multiple properties. He about to sell 3 of them right now.
I know. I seen he put his YOLO estate up for sale.
Yeah,
I forgot how
that
much
was one of them.
it would cost, but Fashion Nova bought it. The CEO of Fashion Nova bought it already. That one was in Cali.
I thought I saw Fashion Nova bought one of the biggest estates in Cali, and it was called the something, but it wasn't YOLO. Yeah, are you saying that's the same? That's the YOLO estate?
I thought it was, but I could be mistaken. Maybe
I
just
heard
read
YOLO
it.
State was getting sold.
Maybe I just
They
read
did
it
that.
together, and I just assumed one was together. I don't have much else though. What else y'all want to talk about?
I do want to get into just real quick. I feel like a lot of sports news has been going around lately.
Russell Wilson is a Bronco.
That's some crazy news, and that's definitely been causing some buzz around here in Denver. The fact that the Broncos are going to be relevant again, and it's even crazier because that division's going to be wild.
Wild, bro.
Real quick, does that make Broncos a immediate Super Bowl contender, playoff?
They're in Super Bowl contention. I wouldn't
500?
say they're a favorite.
I would say Super Bowl contention. I don't know what that means by saying they're not a favorite if they're Super Bowl contention.
Like they have a chance to make it to the Super
Favorite
Bowl,
means
but
they're
like
the favorite.
I still think Buffalo's better than them. I still think the Kansas City Chiefs are better than them. I still think,
But they're in the same.
But they're like a contender.
that's what I'm saying. They're all contenders
could
to possibly
see-
make
yeah,
it.
you
I
could
would
see
say
them
those are
winning.
more favored to win, come out of the AFC than the Broncos would be right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I still think the Chiefs are still
Like,
favorite
and even
over
if we're
them.
looking at the odds, I think they moved up to 5th in the odds to win the Super Bowl. So like, yeah, they're in the talk, but I don't know if they're the favorites.
I know, and it was crazy because it was like the Aaron Rodgers news came out like in the morning, and then like literally 45 minutes later, Russell Wilson to the Broncos.
I know Aaron Rodgers, highest paid quarterback, staying with Green Bay. I'm like, fuck. A couple hours later,
Restructures deal.
and then Jerry Judy was tweeted was like
Yeah.
like a sad
Sad
face,
face,
you know,
yeah.
because Aaron Rodgers. And 45 minutes later,
We lit.
Russell Wilson to the Broncos, Jerry Judy, we lit, bro. That's exactly my emotions. Like, damn, oh shit, we lit.
No, it was definitely a change of emotions. I mean, how Rodgers is a little older than Wilson, so I was seeing some people saying that this kind of helps the Broncos long term. But then I was also seeing some people saying that Russell Wilson's 33, so like, how long realistically do we think we're gonna have him for?
Another Super Bowl,
Is that all that matters to make it worth it? Because the Broncos
Yeah.
gave up a lot.
definitely. I mean,
Well,
that's what this
Broncos
whole
gave
game
up
is
a lot.
about.
Well, they also
A lot.
Russell Wilson has said he wants to play into his 40s. Whether he's good or not, still that's to be seen in the future. But I think he's 33 is what I believe he
Yeah,
is.
33.
So I mean, I still think he has a solid 5 years at the very least.
I
And
think
that's
so
a long
too. I
time.
was like, he's in his prime. I think Russ is still in his prime. And with today's game, quarterbacks don't get hit. We see Tom and all these other old quarterbacks, Peyton, Eli, been kind of retiring at older ages. So I think if the Broncos can get 4 to 5 years from this Russ deal, I think that's solid.
That's a win.
2 to 3 years, I think it's like, it makes it a little tougher. But if you can get 4 to 5 solid years from Russ, that makes them 2 first rounds, 2 second rounds, a 5th round, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris. I forgot his other name. What this guy's name was?
Shelby Harris, yeah.
And then somebody else.
Drew Lock, if that matters.
And Drew Lock, yeah. So, like, they gave up a lot. But like I said, if you can get a solid Russ for 4 to 5 years, that puts you in playoff contention.
But we also opened up
let alone
cap
Super
space
Bowl
too.
contention.
Open up cap space, but I still feel like their core people, like the people that really matter, like they didn't really get rid of. Like draft picks were probably the most important of what they got rid of.
2 firsts and 2
And if they could get Von Miller back,
that's a rebuild. Seattle's like, cool, we got 2 firsts and 2. You know what you can get with 2
right?
firsts
That's
and 2
why they were
seconds?
willing to give up Russell Wilson,
Yeah,
bro.
they're gonna get their
Russell-
quarterback
it's a
with
trade, bro.
2
It's not like a
firsts and 2
Peyton Manning
seconds.
situation where he was just
It's
like
a free agent.
right. We traded to get him. Like of course, you got to give up some stuff to get a Super Bowl quarterback.
But I think, like you were saying before in the like pre-show, is they're young already. The Broncos are young. They kind of already done the draft thing. They've been doing that since
Right,
Payne left.
yeah.
So I think it's time for them to get a quarterback and
Yeah.
make sure their assets that they've drafted don't expire.
No, I agree. You gotta pull the trigger sometime. So
And
now
Von
it
Miller
happens
could
to
come
be.
back. I'm gonna keep saying that.
Yeah,
And-
but if-
And even beyond the Broncos, is this the best time in Denver sports history right now? Are we about to
it
witness
might be the
this?
goal to be is Denver title town USA.
It might be right now, bro. There's a chance the Avs
The bars are about to be lit.
lit, bro.
I'm ready for the
Lit.
summer. I'm ready for opening day. But freaking baseball is on a freaking strike, so I don't even know if we're gonna get baseball.
They always on a strike.
But the Avalanche are number 1 in the NHL.
In the NHL, yeah.
NBA, the
Bro.
Nuggets have an MVP.
Exactly. Possibly who could go back to back.
Bro,
And
the Avalanche traffic is way crazier than the Nuggets traffic, bro.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Bro.
But every time I'm on the highway, I'm like, who plays in the NHL today? Avs at home, of course. That's why there's traffic.
They're the number 1 team in the NHL league right now. But yeah, they probably sell out every game. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it's always been like that. Like every year, like traffic for Avs games are crazy.
And like the energy is like a playoff game for the NBA every time
Every
an Avs game. Yeah.
And you could fit more fans in there. So that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it does allow you to fit more fans. Yeah.
I'm like, this fool would know the Cronky employee.
Not anymore.
You took me to my first hockey game. I'm like, it's actually kind of dope in here.
Nah, it was dope
Nah,
to
it's
watch it
dope.
live. For
Actually,
sure.
no, that wasn't my first, but it was my first as an adult that I actually like remember.
Same for me. So,
But yeah, we're in the golden year right now
no, yeah,
for Denver sports.
Yeah, and then the Broncos just got Russ. It's a good time to be.
Yeah,
a
we
Denver
lit.
fan.
but this is kind of random, and we're just freestyling now that we don't really have anything else to talk about. But have you guys heard about these spiders that are coming to the East Coast? I just had to throw
I
this out
did
there,
see that.
The what?
bro. These spiders are parachuting, bro, and they're.
That's I'm like, how are they parachuting?
That's what I want to know, bro.
They got to get in the air somehow to parachute.
Well, they're saying some with their web. It's some with their web that they use, but they're
But you
the
can't.
side.
You have to get in the sky to parachute. Still, who is dumping them? They have to be dumped to parachute.
I
They don't just
know, bro.
fly.
Wait, what is going on?
So there's this new like species of spiders that came from Japan, and they usually come on like carriers and stuff like that. And they originally like started a nest in Georgia, and now they're starting to spread across the whole East Coast. And they're saying they're doing it by parachuting using like their web to create like a little parachute to float in the air and expand. And they're supposed to be like the size of a kid's hand. They're pretty.
And they
so
look
they're pretty
trippy.
big.
You remember that spider we seen in DR? And we were like, that's not a
Ew.
spider. That's kind of what they reminded me
It
of because
did,
it
yeah.
looked like abnormal.
But I guess they can't be like dangerous to us. They're
Oh, that's a plus. us.
Yeah, like they can't even bite us. They're kind of like daddy long legs, I guess. Like they can't puncture our skin.
Losers.
But yeah, that's yeah.
That's,
I know you
that's
hate spiders.
wild, bro.
Yeah, that's why to bring it up. I was like, yo, this is the most wild thing I've heard, that they're just parachuting spiders. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah, somebody's dropping them for sure. They can't just parachute.
Bro, they're like black and neon yellow.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're huge. Oh no, if I seen this, I would faint, bro. They don't even have to bite me.
More of a reason why I won't live on the East Coast.
Yeah, they got wild
This
bugs.
is pretty big news over the week, though. It says NFL suspends Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Calvin Ridley for at least the 2022 season, which is 17 games, for betting on NFL games. Pretty huge news. And I think it came out that he bet 1,500 total. FanDuel, maybe? I'm not sure the exact app, but how they found out, don't know. But Calvin really said, I bet 1,500 total, and I don't have a gambling problem. But either way, they investigated him, and they found out that he was betting, so they suspended him for the whole 2022 season. I think this might be the first time anything like this has ever happened.
I ain't never heard nothing like this. I didn't know you couldn't bet. Why
Me
can't
either.
you
I didn't know.
bet?
I didn't know they couldn't bet either.
That's weird.
But I
and he
guess-
didn't even play the season, so it's not like he was betting on his own games that he was playing. He wasn't even playing.
But he played a couple games. I don't know
Did
the
he bet
exact.
on those
I don't
games?
know.
If he bet on those games,
I don't
then we
know.
got something.
A clip came
And
out of him
If he
doing
bet
some
on those games,
wild
and that's
shit.
the reason why he took himself. Because remember, he was like, "I'm done for personal reasons."
Yeah.
What if he got,
People assume mental
What if
health,
he got caught up in some?
but he did say
some-
personal.
What if he
He
got caught
suspend-
up in some shit where he had to like shave points? You know the what movie was that?
Oh, that was the referee.
The
in
Longest
NBA.
Yard.
Y'all both.
Oh,
Remember The Longest Yard?
I thought you were talking about some real stuff. There was an NBA ref that was
Yeah,
betting.
Donahue.
and- yeah.
Yeah,
But
no,
that's
this
a
was
little
player.
different
Like,
too. Like I
ref,
feel like
ref is different.
Ex-
A
I feel like a
player,
ref is
ref's
different.
worse.
No,
Exactly.
a player's worse. You literally have to give up.
What? A ref has control of the
a
game.
ref has a little bit more control. I feel like.
Okay, but as a quarterback, you're literally throwing the game. Like, I'm not gonna throw it to an open wide receiver. I'm gonna just throw this shit to the ground.
that's also true.
That's
facts.
worse.
Yeah, but we haven't seen that. I'm talking
But they're a
about real life.
player,
The ref-
so they're like, if I do that, I'm gonna lose contracts and money. People are gonna talk about me. A ref doesn't really have much at stake, so like
Well, we don't even know most of the refs' names.
the refs, you have to actually investigate. Whereas a player, like can you see Patty Mahomes like throwing his legacy for some?
That's what I'm saying.
So I feel like players are more like nah, I gotta start. I gotta like actually
I feel like
play.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well,
So you have to mostly like audit the refs. So for a player, I wouldn't even expect that was illegal. But I mean, it makes sense that it is though. It definitely makes sense.
I mean, it makes sense. but
Refs and players, it makes sense. Like neither one should bet.
Owners, coaches,
But
I'm sure
I
it's
feel
all
like
of them.
players a little worse.
I feel like all of them can't probably.
I
Yeah,
guess
owners too. Yeah, you're
we
right.
need to know the details more, because if he was betting on the games he was playing, that's one thing. But if he's
Right.
betting on games that he didn't have no part in, well, here's my thing.
Or does he have inside information?
Think of does this compare to domestic violence cases?
What?
No, like really though, he's getting suspended the whole year, but there's people that have domestic violence cases that only get 4 games, 6
No, yeah,
games.
I see what
but
you're
he's
getting
getting
at.
the whole
okay,
year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because in comparison, like he only did bet 1,500, and I've seen people saying, first of all, the NFL has a contract with the NFL has a contract with DraftKings, and they're doing so much business with all these betting companies. So for a player to try and make money now, even though the NFL makes money, now it's like a bad thing, and I get suspended for the whole year. But in comparison, they haven't ever suspended a player for the whole year except for weed and maybe banned substances, but definitely weed. Like you said, people will get domestic violence charges and get 4-6 games total. So that's what I've been seeing online as a debate too.
It's all.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I think, yeah, he made a mistake. He should learn from this. You probably shouldn't be betting on I'm sure maybe he signed something we don't know too, like in
Oh
contracts.
yeah, I'm clearly.
But
Yeah,
I don't think he should get a full season. Like, I think that should be reevaluated. A full season sounds crazy to me. He's gonna lose out on so much money already for a $1,500 bet or whatever it was. Like,
$1,500, bro. 1,500.
and they already be shorting the NFL players anyways for
Bro,
their money.
but do you hear this? $1,500 NFL player Calvin Ridley. That's nothing. That's like $100. What is?
He just probably made like a
Why
little
is
quick,
he betting this?
a little quick bet.
If he knew it's illegal
That's
for
the
him
thing.
to bet,
That's the thing.
and
Did he know?
bet, and
But I'm
might
like,
not have.
he had
Right.
to know that it was illegal because
Or-
I'm sure he has an agent. He's Calvin
Bro, this
Ridley,
shit is
one of the most popular
weird.
receivers. So I'm
This
sure
is
that's like one
weird.
of the main things your agent says. You can't bet on games. It's insider information. I'm sure they have a
was
list
he
of
was he
things.
in Vegas and just put a bet down? I could see that happening. Like, you're drunk in Vegas, like, fuck it, I'm a bet.
No,
Also-
but I can see it happening from his phone.
Oh yeah, facts. But that's the
Just-
thing.
just
It's so
like trying
easily
out the app.
it's so easily accessible that most
You're
people
right.
do it. So
Yeah,
that's
just-
why
just
people are
trying it
mad.
out.
Like, dude, you're mad that he bet $1,500 and it's going to cost him $11 million in the whole season when the NFL is like advertising sports betting on every commercial.
Right. And it's just weird, the amount.
Yeah, it is. Kind of. But also, there was a clip that went viral.
Out
And
route,
I don't
that one
know.
clear
Bro,
for Calvin Ridley. Flag is thrown as Ridley
bro looked a
cuts
little
it back.
suspect for
And then
sure.
heads towards the stepping out at the out route,
Niggas
that
was
one cleaner for
nigga might have been
Calvin
shaving a
Ridley.
little yards on
Flag
that
is
over
thrown,
under.
cuts it back, and then heads towards the stepping out at the over the middle, and again it's Ridley. They say yes.
Are you saying his
Oh,
over under?
because of the run
Is that what he bet?
Now they back off
If he
around.
bet on his over,
Oh, what a move, Calvin
his
Ridley.
own.
Look at this. Inside the 30. Does he have enough speed?
Bro, what?
Ridley is down to the inside the 30. Does he have
he didn't want
enough
to
speed?
score.
Now they back
That
off.
was
Nah, I
that
don't
was
believe it.
weird.
Oh, what a
I don't
move,
believe it.
Calvin Ridley. Look at this. Inside the 30. Does he have
Actually,
enough
nah,
speed?
you're right.
I don't believe it. He was about to get tackled. He was
Nah,
trying
you're
to
right.
miss it.
You're right. That Chiefs player was
And
fast
you know how
as
many
fuck.
people I've seen run backwards trying to make a play?
Nah, you're right. Look at that Chiefs. Look at the Chiefs
He was about to
player
get
right
him.
there on the
He was
right.
about to
He's
get him,
hella
yeah.
fast. He was gonna get him. He was trying to run away from him.
Nah, you know the internet.
Nah,
always-
yeah, them I could see how they could be convincing, but nah, it's still weird to me. I don't know. There has to be something.
I'm sure
else.
you could make a highlight reel like that for a lot of players.
True.
Yeah, I agree with you. You're right. I think the whole season is a little extensive. For one, I didn't even know that was against the rules.
That's definitely extensive. Yeah, I was surprised that he got suspended for the whole year. That's crazy.
All right, music. You guys want to get into some music?
Let's get it.
I've been bumping that Donda 2. It's not on Apple, but I got it on Apple,
You
baby.
thief.
Oops. I was about to say somebody got rid of my gunshots. What y'all been listening to? Where did we leave off at? The Donda 2 did drop. I played y'all a couple clips. I assume y'all haven't heard any of it.
No.
No, that was my first, but it was fire.
That's cool. Yeah, he dropped it exclusively only on the stem player,
Right.
but I seen that Billboard isn't going to count it because he dropped it exclusively on the stem player.
Right. That's stupid. Fuck billboards.
I think Kanye is doing it for a reason, though. I think he knew that was gonna happen because they've made it a rule, like the bundles and stuff like that.
He obviously
And-
doesn't care. Yeah. About
Nah, but he
Grammys, none of
wants
that shit
to
no more.
he wants to change. He wants to change
New
everything.
rules.
Yeah, change the rules
New
and break
rules.
them down. And I think he's doing it. I think it's pretty genius, and he made a lot of money off of it.
I was gonna say, yeah, he
In
definitely
24
he
hours.
definitely knows what he's doing because he made over $2 million in a day.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like they didn't even have probably that much production and stem players ready, but they're like, all right, well, now we had to produce more stem players because people want it.
Right.
Somebody told me it was on Spotify though. I think he might have been lying.
I
to
heard
me.
Spotify went down.
For like 30 minutes.
I'm like permanently.
Nah, like
Nah, it was yesterday or the day before. It went down for like 30 minutes.
Oh, shit always goes down.
People are going ape shit though. They're like, oh, I can't listen to music. Hey, music is life, bro.
Yeah, I bet. Especially when that's the
People
only
go
thing you
crazy.
got. The Donda 2 is pretty dope though. I listened to it a couple times in DR. It's not on streaming services yet, but I don't know if he'll even put it on there, but it's dope. I'm feeling the vibes. You know, Kanye kind of be all over the place with his production and features, but Donda 2 sounds a little different than the first one, but I like it.
Yeah, them couple of tracks that you played was hot.
He played like 6.
What else? Kodak Black dropped an album, Back for Everything.
Way better than the album he dropped before this. Way better, like 360, bro. Like I was listening, I was like, okay, this is
Like, I get
this
it.
is legit.
People love Kodak, bro. Kodak has a huge fan base.
Yeah, that's a good album. I'll give him that.
I haven't listened to it yet, but I have it downloaded.
I heard a few songs. I heard that he got a I Wish remake, like Ray J. I Wish. It wasn't bad. I'm not gonna hold you. It wasn't too bad. This shit was pretty cool.
The whole project was solid, bro.
I don't know if I've heard every song, but that Super Gremlin is crazy. And after the Super Gremlin is the I Wish, so that's what made me. I'm like, wait, is this the Ray J?
Okay.
It's like, no, it's literally the Ray J.
I've been watching it up on the drone. Pull a cock and then aim at his dome. Bust a right, I can never be wrong. I'ma fight for the love that we know. And I never go the same way home. When I slide, gotta switch up the route. Can't let them follow the snake to the house.
But yeah, I've seen a lot of people posting a lot of songs off of here. Like I said, people love Kodak. I've never been like the biggest Kodak fan, but I get it. Kodak's dope.
Well, I was going to say this earlier when we were introing with him, and it's crazy, like those people from like, what was it, like 2016, 2015, whenever they had their XXL freshman list, like we were like kind of looking at these kids and being like, are they going to be big? Are they going to just be a phase? But there's a few of them, like 21, Kodak, Uzi.
Oh, that are legends.
Like that, yeah, they've cemented themselves. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You put Kodak in that same boat. Is that what you're saying?
He would be the third if I had to rank him, but he's definitely like the most relevant out of like that. One of the most relevant out of that class for sure.
He's not consistent, but he's definitely like there. Like he could definitely drop projects like this one. The one before this was trash, but this one is solid, bro. Like
No, yeah, but you put him on that level though.
Yeah, he's a superstar right now. He's like a star.
The young greats, basically. Yeah, 19 tracks, not too many features. Got a little Dirk on here. Back for Everything. Definitely check that out. Our guys, Earth Gang, dropped the album Ghetto Gods over the weekend.
Love it.
Same.
I haven't heard the whole thing. I haven't had is that Nick Cannon? Nick Cannon's on here? Does Nick Cannon have a verse on here?
Damn, I didn't even notice that was Nick Cannon. I've listened.
What song?
Is he rapping?
Power. I don't remember it, but I remember CeeLo being on it.
All right, I'm gonna definitely have to check that. I'm gonna tap in for sure now. But
Interesting.
Earth Gang always makes good songs, and I've heard they had DC Young Fly back on the interludes. So
yeah,
I love all the I love all the albums where they have him commentating on this.
And we were talking about Future earlier, helping produce Donda 2. That's one of the best songs on there is the Billy and Waterboys. That's like the best.
Is Future on here?
Yeah.
Twice?
Nah, just the third one.
Okay. Nah, Future's a legend, bro. But that's the thing too. Earth Gang doesn't do too many features, and it was dope to see they kind of linked up with some other people. Future's on here, of course. J. Cole and JID in house. They linked up with Music, Soul Child, Baby Tate is on here. CeeLo and Nick Cannon supposedly. Ari Lennox. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to really live with it, but I'm super excited about this one.
And Future, it makes sense because they're all from Atlanta.
Yeah, that ATL connection. I'm sure DC might have helped out with that a little bit. What do you like so much about it, Juro?
The singing. They be singing on there, boy.
Well, for me, I think like just musically, they make good music, and the way they sound, like he's saying, they can sing, they can rap. And
it's like artistic.
It's very artistic. That's a perfect word for it.
I like their dynamic. That's what I really like about them. Like the two of them.
Yeah, they play off each other so well, for sure.
And it's like they both could sing, but they both sing differently. But they both could rap.
And they both rap different.
Well, like you could tell they're more of a singer than a rapper, and the other one's more of a rapper than a singer, but they both do both. And you could tell which one, like, they're more comfortable singing than rapping.
One, I think something I really respect about Earth Gang. Sorry, my bad. But something I respect about them is they
Don't apologize.
they always like come with good content of what you're trying to listen to. Like there's some meaning behind their music
Always.
a lot of times. So, and that's what I really respect.
Like that's just a product of being signed to J. Cole. It's like
Facts.
I know Cole's gonna come with some heat, so I gotta have that pressure to always come with it. I seen Ari Lennox tweet the other day. She was like, "My album's almost ready." She was like, "I'm so proud of these 9-10 songs. I just need 3 more, and my album will be complete." And I'm sure we all feel the same about Ari. So, just being around Cole, I feel like he holds you to that higher standard. And for those that don't know, Earth Gang is signed to J. Cole's label Dreamville, and have been for a while. A few albums they've dropped under that label, and they've been on the increase ever since. I've seen them live a couple times, and they kill it. Conway the Machine dropped a new album. God Don't Make Mistakes.
Fire.
Shout out to Griselda. I feel like you can't say Griselda with a couple gunshots in the background. You said it was fire. You been able to bump it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Actually, bumped it on the ride over here. I went to the Baby and NBA Youngboy. I played like the first 2 songs. I said,
Actually,
yeah, let me go to Kanye or the Conway. And yeah, I think it's fire.
I just love you always know what you're gonna get. Like
Bars.
although I feel like they're always expanding and growing, working with new people, and like their sound is growing, but it's still like so Griselda. The Griselda sound is always there. And they drop 3 albums a year, like each individually. So it's like, how are they still coming with this much heat, not compromising themselves, working with all these different producers, but still keeping it themselves in-house and still keeping that Griselda sound? It's so dope to me.
Yeah, they're keeping hip hop alive for sure.
No, I think it's just because, for one, they're older too, so they've been doing it for a while. They know they don't have to really conform, but like they've been doing it for a while, and they're from Buffalo,
and they just got straight bars, bro. It's
and they're from Buffalo. They grew up not really idolizing too many people because they've only had themselves to really, hold the reins. So like, now that they actually made it, like, yo, we've been looking up to ourselves for so long, we just gonna keep it to ourselves. This is all we know. Shout out to Conway. He got Rick Ross on here, Wayne's on here, Benny the Butcher and West Side, of course. T.I., Jill Scott. Super dope album. Then you said The Baby and Youngboy. I haven't really listened to this. I think this is like the only album that dropped last weekend too. But they dropped the album Better Than You. Actually, I have listened to it. I listened to the whole thing today.
King Von dropped.
And the King Von dropped.
And it's going to sell more than this one.
I listened to this today, though, and it was...
Actually, it sold more than this one.
It was all right. What do y'all feel about the...
Trash.
The Baby and Youngboy album?
Trash. It's not doing numbers. I'm not being biased. It's trash.
It's like weird, and I think someone mentioned this, and when I was listening to some of the songs, it was weird because the Baby was trying to sound like NBA Youngboy. Like it just was like weird. It was he didn't sound like the Baby. Like what we like from the Baby, we didn't hear from.
And he was singing a lot and changing his voice a lot. Like,
the Baby,
bro, what are you
he's
doing,
been on that
bro?
lately. I think I said that though. I was like, the Baby was trying to sound like Youngboy, and Youngboy was trying to sound like the Baby, and they were just like tried to go to each other's world.
They just reversed.
But I feel like they weren't like together. They weren't vibing together. They just sent each other a bunch of random songs.
It sounded like they weren't in the studio together.
Yeah,
it sounded like NBA was rapping over the phone a lot.
It was no chemistry.
Well, I'm pretty sure NBA is on house arrest too, so the Baby would have had it on to him.
Facts.
Nah, yo.
And he's like in this random location, and the Baby's like not going
Like
to
Utah
Wyoming.
or something like that.
Quality was trash.
But then I also seen they recorded the whole album in like 2 days, and I'm like,
That's why.
it makes sense. I can definitely tell.
Right.
There's so many times where like one of them's offbeat or this or the other, or
Like nobody mastered it, nobody was perfecting
I'm
like
not-
Colin, you might want to redo your verse,
Yeah,
or
they just-
let me change the beat a little bit to make your voice sound a little better right here.
yeah, just a one and done.
Like let me lower this part of the beat so I can hear your voice. This shit was just trash, bro.
Man, you could tell they one and done it. I wasn't the biggest fan. And then to hear you said the baby said it was a
It was a mixtape though. I had to put that out there because the baby wanted to make sure everybody knew it was a mixtape.
Then why are you comparing it to Watch the Throne?
right.
I didn't see that. That's crazy.
He said it was the next Watch the Throne or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And
Definitely not a hit. See, and that's the thing too. Everybody thinks they could just do collab albums now. Like, no, everybody doesn't want to hear an album from everybody. Like, let's be
Right.
real.
Like, what's your history? Why are you guys doing albums together?
This
like-
is even better than Lil Baby and Lil Durk. Their album was fire. This
Fire,
no.
right?
And then they actually toured together though. Like
Yeah.
you could tell they actually had a chemistry.
They recorded it probably together. I agree with what Wax was saying. It seemed like they didn't really have like that chemistry.
Yeah, I feel like they made one hot song together, and they're like, "Yeah, man, I think we got something. Let's do a mixtape."
Yeah, and they were just sending each other shit.
And it's crazy because
together.
they're both dope individually, and they both sell individually. So for them to like not really sell much together is
Yeah, with all this being said, I feel like they could put out a dope project together. But this one just isn't it. It just, they rushed it, and he admitted it that it was 2 days, and it makes sense. It sounds like it is. They could make a dope project. So I hope in the future that they try again. But this one is just not it.
I kind of don't.
yeah, it's like maybe a couple songs here and there.
I just
That
don't
one
know if
single
that's
during the quarantine was fire.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They made a dope
Like
song.
a whole
and they were
album
like
that should be
but,
fire, bro.
Just because you make a couple songs, that don't mean y'all need to get together for a
Right.
while.
Don't force it. Don't 2 day it.
I don't know if I'm trying to hear a full album.
I know, but
These two.
like I said, that's the thing. They both sell more individually. So like,
Right.
why do you think they're not selling much together?
Because they didn't sound good together.
Yeah,
You think people just don't like
the
it?
proof is in the pudding, bro. It's real. So like,
Also, I couldn't really find it. Like, I feel like they were blackmailed.
that too.
Oh, yeah, it
because
wasn't
I
promoted.
definitely had to search
I had
for
to
it,
search for it.
and I knew that was gonna happen. The Baby and Tory Lanez are definitely blackballed.
But then they also didn't really promote it either. Like, so I think it's a combination of a lot. Like, they just, like you said, it's a mixtape. They just got together, dropped it. They weren't really treating. They don't. I'm sure they don't really care about the numbers much.
NBA definitely wasn't promoting it.
Exactly. So like,
I didn't see no promotion from him. I saw the Baby promoting it a little bit. He was like had his track list and posted it, but NBA didn't post nothing.
so I mean, for like a little drop mixtape, I guess it's cool. But musically, artistically, I just don't think it hit.
Yeah, mixtape I understand, but this is mixtape era's over. Like your
Facts.
projects are on platforms now. Like make them good. Like people are gonna listen to these. They don't have to search for mixtapes nowadays. Like mixtapes was like, oh, you got a
It's
mixtape?
exclusive.
Yeah, but no, these are platforms. Like your music's gonna be heard. Make sure it's good.
Well, I don't like the excuse of being like, oh, it's a mixtape. Like, what does that mean?
Right, like
Everything's just a project now.
I know. It's
Yeah.
like it's still a
Right.
project. So they don't mean that don't exclude it from being ass cheeks.
Yeah,
Right.
it sound like you making excuses.
Yeah, that was a straight excuse, bro. That's all that was.
You mentioned the King Von dropping.
Yeah.
I heard pretty good things from Von. You know how I be feeling about the posthumous albums and
Right.
the albums after people pass, but I've been hearing pretty good things, and like you said, clearly other people feel the same because he's on pace to sell more than the
Better
Baby
than-
and NBA.
Yeah.
How do y'all feel about the King Von album? What it means to be king?
I mean, with these albums, like you said, with what they're passing, and it's like old material that they piece together. It's just
Tough.
it brings a different feel to it when you're listening to it, because you're not really expecting too much, because you're like, it's not new. The energy's not like relevant energy to today, but as far as the lyrics and him just spitting, it's King Von, It's like what you would remember him being.
And what you would hope for,
Right.
I would imagine.
But it's crazy because it's new, but it's not new. If that makes sense.
I don't listen to albums after the person passes away.
It's weird, right? It's just, yeah. I probably should just stick to that same route. Because, yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. Sometimes they're planning the albums and they have it ready and it's ready to go. But then sometimes it's just like the label scrapping together stuff and they're like, all right, we got to make a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I get it. But, I mean, just looking here, it looks like it's backed by OTF and Dirk and them. And I don't know. I haven't seen anything Dirk shaming it. So, I'm going to at least try and pay my respects. I'm gonna give it a bump at least, and check out King Von, especially because we don't have so much content from Von, and we were left wanting so much more. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and check it out.
I don't think. Oh, he's on there, Evil Twins, but yeah, Lil Durk's really not on the album. That was another thing I took away from it. But he's on Evil Twins, which was an old song that's been out.
For me, this is supposed to be the artist's work, regardless of the record label backs them or whoever. Like, they need to have the final say and vision. Like, I just never know how much say they actually had in it. And then even beyond that, like, who's actually reaping the benefits of this stuff? Like you said, it could be a record label trying to just put something together. So I just choose to just kind of stay away from it because it feels like an incomplete project anytime I have listened to one. So I just kind of steer away.
I understand.
Definitely, because artists definitely like to keep work on ice, and it's their right to keep work on ice and keep it on ice forever if they want to.
No, yeah, and who would have known what they would have tweaked and what their idea of the final version was, and it's usually just a bunch of reference tracks that they have in the cut, and they're like, "Oh, this sounds good, but let's go with it." But all that being said, I heard it was good, and they got some pretty good features. So
yeah, it wasn't bad.
I'm gonna definitely check it out.
It's just weird, but yeah.
Any other music from you guys?
Nope.
I think that's all I got for music.
Any other content from you guys?
I did see that Nike or Foot Locker is not selling any Nike at all.
Yeah, I seen that. That was weird.
Why?
I'm like, what are they just gonna sell hella Adidas or what?
Yeah, they're just focusing on Adidas, Puma, and New Balance.
But then I'm like, all right, does that mean Nike's pulling their stuff or is Foot Locker pulling their stuff?
No, Nike is removing all of their products.
Exactly. So that makes me think Nike has bigger things in store.
Nike stores coming back.
Exactly.
Everywhere they're taking over. At least they want to.
Yeah, shout out to Nike and Foot Locker. But department stores are dying anyway, so niggas don't go in Foot Locker no more. And they're definitely not about to go without Nike there, so I can only I could foresee Foot Locker not being here for too much longer.
Yep, I can see that. But it's kind of tough because you want to try on the shoe.
Some people
just know their size. You're right.
Some people just.
I mean, look at these auctions just online.
That nobody really waits in line and goes to the store no more.
I was gonna say, if you really in the sneaker community, you just want the shoe.
Yeah, you know your size,
right.
and
you're not gonna wear it.
Resellers, resellers
right.
don't give a fuck about sizes.
You're right.
So it's been I'm sure it's been hurting the department stores.
That's crazy though. Like everything, not shoes, clothing, everything. They're just taking out Foot Locker. That's crazy. Yeah, they got something bigger planned. They have to, but they're Nike though, so. They're good.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Uriah?
I do want to just shout out the Genius documentary for Kanye, since we're still kind of on music. I think it was so dope to see the old Kanye, to see where he started and how he was like, how he had to really work to get to where he was. Like, it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies for him on the way to his fandom. Yeah.
And to see him at where he's at now, it's like, all right, niggas take.
But it's weird because he's kind of always been the same guy, but now he's just more in public.
No, that's what I'm saying. To see where he's at now, as far as the billionaire and like the richest black guys, like usually you think they've always had it easy or the yes man. Like, nah, he worked for this. He had to struggle for this.
And he got a lot of no's before.
He got a lot of no's before he was able to like actually get those ideas and visions out.
Like songs that are hits, he was playing for people and they're just like, what is this?
Exactly.
So it's dope. It gives you more appreciation for Kanye, especially for someone like in our generation that grew up with Kanye, right? It just makes you have more appreciation for what he's done.
Kanye's out. He'll always be a legend.
Bro, and the people that was filming him, Cootie and the other dude, like from the beginning, they knew, like, they were just filming him.
Well, they heard the music too, and they were like, yo, this is crazy.
Well, and beyond the music, they knew the Kanye. They knew Kanye as...
Like, I wonder if, like, Kanye was... Because, you know, he was confident.
My whole point. Like
they confident. So did they just see him like, oh, he got something? Or did he tell them, like, y'all better record me? Like, I'm going to be something.
Yeah, have you watched it? Yeah, so they watched him. They were interviewing him. They started seeing him around, like, starting to get buzz, but more as a producer. But there was some that happened. Oh, when he got with Jay-Z.
Yeah. Just the presence of Jay-Z.
Nah, he was a feature on Jay-Z's album.
And Blueprint was Grammy nominated or Grammy winning.
Yeah.
I saw that scene. Jay-Z was like, oh, if you wouldn't have said nothing, you wouldn't have been on that one.
Well, and then he was like, basically what they're kind of describing, they're like, if he could get Jay-Z to be a believer, then anyone will be a believer, right? Because Jay-Z was the biggest at that time, and that was kind of his goal. But once that happened, Cootie knew. He was like, all right, this guy is special. Jay-Z's a believer. That people are gonna catch on.
But wasn't he recording before that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what made him start from the very beginning, day one? Like, let me just record this with Kanye.
Well, I think so. They kind of describe like Chicago of them always supporting each other, and so because Cootie, he was a comedian originally,
right? And he was just recording stuff in general.
Yeah,
and then he ended up meeting Kanye,
and so they kind of supported each other.
Of just everything.
Twista,
not just, a lot of Chicago scene in general. But then something special. He said he kept hearing about Kanye.
So he just kept following
and him. Then Kanye had a song with it was it R&B niggas? I can't remember who it was. But it was like a group that was pretty popular, and Kanye was like kind of in the background. But he was like, yo, this dude's kind of dope. And then he kept hearing about Kanye, and then he got with Jay-Z, and he was like, all right, yo, out of Chicago, people don't really get these many opportunities. So like, Kanye's moving to New York.
We're moving there.
It was like, hey, let's take an opportunity and we're going to move with him. And then it kind of just starts from there.
That's crazy. You followed him for 20 years and sold it to Netflix for $30 million.
$30 million.
Like $1.2 million a year.
I haven't finished it, but does it follow him? Oh, yeah. I think I've seen some bits and pieces.
Oh, yeah. It follows him all the way up to like Jesus is King time. Yeah.
I've seen some bits of him in like Wyoming.
They were in DR.
What?
They were in the DR recording that. Yeah, while we were watching it.
Oh yeah, I was just kind of like not watching it because I'm behind, so I was trying not to pay attention.
Oh yeah, he was in the DR.
But yeah, I seen him doing the Jesus is King. I'm like, okay, he's still around. But yeah, I seen they sold it for $30 million to Cootie and Chica or whoever. Oh hey, shout out! I seen people like, hey, I'm about to record my friends, no matter how trash I think they are. I'm about to just start recording.
That's what's up though.
Well, and he betted on it and himself believing in Kanye. I mean, it was kind of all of it because it's crazy because now videos are so big and streaming is so big. Like, he probably didn't know it was going to be what it was.
And Netflix, yeah.
But it worked out.
He was just like, yo, this is dope. I'm going to record it. That's the dope thing about just having fun and doing dope shit. Is like, yo, I don't know when I'm going to be able to use this and how and who's going to see this, but I know it's dope. So I'm just going to keep doing it. And eventually it'll pay off. And with that being said, shout out Kanye. It's been another episode. And like that,
we gone.
Thug life tatted across the navel. It's how I am in real life, not just on cable. Mr. Narcissist, tell me about my arrogance. No more counseling, I don't negotiate with